And I would like to invite here Christina Varno, and she will be talking about where is search. Search is everywhere, and where are you? Tere tere from Estonia. Please, the stage is yours.
So, let's start with a reflex question. When I say search, what comes to mind? I think for the majority of the people in this room, the instant association that comes to mind is Google. That's what we've optimized for, built our budgets and dashboards around, and fought over rankings for. But what if I told you that's no longer true? Hi, I'm Christina. I'm marketing and growth strategist. And for the past 7 years, I've worked hands-on with more than 100 organizations across 40 markets. I'm also partner at Convertal, that is one of Estonia's leading digital marketing agencies. And at Convertal, we've spent the last year building something we call OmniSearch. Now, when I say OmniSearch, I'm not describing a new SEO discipline or a tool or just a service. I am describing a new marketing operating model, one that actually reflects how real people discover, compare, and decide in 2025. Some of you might wonder, why am I talking about OmniSearch, not Search Everywhere optimization? The thing with Search Everywhere is that it has become boxed in quite as the new SEO. And that's fine, but I keep seeing posts and webinars and even job ads saying, we need an SEO guy who can do Search Everywhere. The problem is you can't really take a great SEO specialist and expect them to handle everything that goes into optimizing for today's buyer journey. Because search today isn't about keywords and structured content and clean frameworks. It's about prompts, personalization, and invisible feedback loops. It's about systems, how PR, content, brand, and performance connect. It's cross-functional, and it's not something that one person optimizes. It's something that organization designs for. So I'm not here to talk about or teach you today algorithms or content or platform optimizations. I am here to show you a systemic approach on how to handle this new reality. And the first step in that is seeing the world clearly. Every day, around 20 billion searches happen worldwide. Google gets nearly half of that, and that's also changing fast. The rest are happening on social media, forums, AI. And even with Google, only 0.80% of searches are transactional, 15% are commercial, and most of the Google searches don't end up in a click at all. We are, and we have been for a while now, in zero-click era. For marketers, that means that the goal isn't just traffic anymore. The goal is instant impact, being understood, recalled, and trusted in the moment of search. And while AI search is a hot topic, I believe social and all those other platforms in terms of search should be even bigger, and not only in terms of Gen Z, because even 63% of millennials say they start product searches on social or marketplaces instead of Google, and 1 in 3 of Gen X says they prefer marketplaces to Google. But why has this become such a big thing now? You might wonder. Because besides the recent AI hype, social media, forums and marketplaces have existed alongside Google for more than a decade now. We live in a world of information abundance, and with that it comes trust scarcity. People have so much information at hand, and no one knows what to trust. So what do people do? They search in the formats they do trust, because we don't just want the answers anymore. We want the answers that give us the validation that we trust and that fits with our context. And why are businesses having a hard time adjusting to all of this? Because, most businesses do have multiple social media accounts that they keep active, they do PR, they do blog posts, they do everything. And they're still not being found. That's the exact reason why I'm keeping OmniSearch and Search Everywhere separately. Because we moved from structured keywords and really clean frameworks to prompts, personalization, and invisible feedback loops. You simply cannot win the game with the same tactics that we did with SEO. So the hot question, is Google dead? Apart from that, Google is still a really big player, but the monopoly of the search is. Google is just one touch point in much bigger discovery landscape. Two important things to differentiate in all this topic is visibility and findability. Visibility is something that you can buy with ads or posts or campaigns, and it's something that fills the feeds and the streets. Findability, on the other hand, is a thing that fills the bank accounts. Being visible doesn't mean you're being found. Findability means that you show up in the moments of search. The most common reaction to declining reach and all this search everywhere hype is to post everywhere and post a lot. Posting everywhere and in volumes isn't necessarily a strategy, but rather a noise without targeting. Because being present means you just exist, but being discoverable means that you actually get the chance of being chosen. And as I said, you can be visible everywhere and still not findable. For example, you can post, 3 videos to TikTok every day, and when someone uses TikTok search, none of your videos might end up there. And for all this context, you lost them. This is a new search map. We are 4 arenas where people discover for answers or trust, and all businesses sit across all of these 4, whether they design for it or not. The thing with these 4 are that we like things boxed in, but these are not boxed in anymore. TikTok can also act as a trust platform or comparison platform. So can LinkedIn, so can AI. All of these platforms that we used to love keeping as separate things have now become search engines themselves. Here's a simplified snapshot of what might today's buyer journey look like. And I emphasize that simplified. In all this chaos, I want you to turn your focus on the cat video part. Because the thing with visibility is that you don't just compete with others in your own category. You compete for attention with cute cats and funny memes. If you're discoverable, for example, in TikTok search, you can keep your focus. Also, an average person has 10 ongoing buying decisions at any moment, from daily items to big life goals. Most importantly, we like to think that all those platforms play a huge role when actually our friends, family, and colleagues are the ones that influenced us the most. And those touch points are all in the dark funnel. So the thing why all those clean frameworks doesn't really work with this new reality anymore is that that's not a funnel. That was a zigzag of micro moments. We all grew up loving the funnel. It was clear, it was simple, it was measurable, it made us feel in control. But when has buying ever looked like this? When the social media and AI didn't change how people search, didn't create the chaos, it just made it visible and impossible to ignore. The funnel has always been a fantasy, and that's why we need systems to optimize this new reality. Funnels were created on the idea that people will land on something, whether it's Google for search, website for information. But today, search isn't the destination. Search is a behavior, and only systems can optimize for behavior. Because as we all know, people are pretty unpredictable. Here are some more reasons why hacks and tactics and clean frameworks that we used to love with SEO doesn't really work anymore. First is that there is personalization chaos. When I search in TikTok for trendiest cars in 2025, and my dad does the same, we get completely different answers and videos, because context and personalization matters. Systems can adapt to that, but hacks expire the day after. There's also content velocity. Every day, millions of videos, blog posts are created around the world. One single piece can never win. Only systems can. There are endless possibilities with limited resources. There are millions of combinations of prompts, of contexts, of search behaviors. And we only have so much time and so much money to do this at once. Most important in all this is offline to online triggers. When you pay for visibility, let's say you do the events and buy the billboards, you want to get the attention and the search that you paid for, not lose it to your competitors who do better on social search or AI. A quick commercial break. I know everyone hates them, so if you hate them, you can relax, close your eyes before we continue the systemic approach. But maybe this will also help you. The thing with AI optimization is that there are endless amounts of prompts. And then a lot of people have created those AI visibility trackers. The problem with them is they make your life a lot of the times messier because they are built on black box reports. They pull whatever data on whatever prompts. So they don't really guide you. We built the one where you only have a certain amount of focus prompts. We don't pull anything irrelevant to you. Quick note that this link won't work. You have to type it in. Oh, sorry, commercials don't work. Anyways, continuing. We left off with the idea that you should optimize for the behavior, not for the platforms. So let's talk about how to build a systemic approach around that. One way to do it is to use a 4-layer approach. As you can see, there are quite dots, but the first one is pretty much your general business foundation. What are your goals? By what and by whom do you want to be found for? The first layer is that you should create a brand intelligence hub. Because if your message isn't clear, no algorithm can save you. So, in this brand intelligence hub, you should have your goals, key phrases, product info, customer language, all of that, and everything from ads to AI to TikTok pulls from this one foundation. Now you might ask that, oh, I already have a Google Drive. The thing is that in most Google Drives, there are a couple hundreds of files. No one can really get a sense of them. So what do? They create their own. And the problem with that is that without consistent rules, every platform interprets you differently. Consistency or signal of authority to all platforms and to humans. The more coherent your language is, the better your authority signals are. Once you have made your message clear, choose your battlegrounds. You don't need to be everywhere. Pick 2 to 3 channels that actually drive discovery for your audience. And then pick one primary search behavior and one content type that matches this. For each platform, authority looks a bit different, and for each target audience group, authority looks a bit different. Learn what it is, and build your authority around that. Because AI systems and users and we all rely on signals of credibility, whether it's backlinks, mentions, expert citations, so on. Discovery systems are the connective tissue of modern marketing. Map the full discovery path and create evergreen anchors around them. Make every asset reference each other. Your authority signals should connect between themselves. And remember that findability lives in structure, not volume, and small, consistent optimizations beat complexity. Discovery changes weekly, algorithms change weekly, and so should your systems. Run a monthly or a weekly review with your team. Go over, do you have to change something in your messaging or platform choices, and act accordingly. Because discovery is no longer static, and so shouldn't be your tactics or your systems. The companies that do the best are the ones that learn from their own data, not just Google's. So here's the big idea. Don't just optimize for the channels, optimize the system, the behavior, because platforms change and algorithms reset. But discovery behavior is constant. People still want proof, relevance, and trust. And when you build systems around that, you stop chasing visibility and you start owning it. Search is everywhere, and so are your opportunities. Thank you for your time. I'm Christina. You can find me on LinkedIn, and I'll also be here at the conference for both days, so you can catch me or someone from my team for a quick chat.
Thank you, Christina. Applause to Christina from Convertal.